Don't take no for an answer. Take space. I am truly sorry about my hair situation. Ugh. I am trying to transition back into my curly hair, and it's been way more difficult than I thought, honestly. Everyone was so nice on Twitter. Thank you so much. I posted a photo while I was like trying to dry my hair. It didn't end up looking as nice as I thought, but everyone was so nice about it, so thank you. But I am so sorry. But let's talk about the book, which is the important thing, right? Actually, I think this kind of inspired me. This book inspired me to go back into my natural curls, to be honest. Such an amazing book. This is my first Acevedo read, and it's definitely not going to be the last. Hello readers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This book was honestly such a surprise book for me. I knew a lot of people liked this book, but I don't think anyone related to this book as much as I kind of did. Yes, we're following a teenage girl called Xiomara, and obviously she writes poetry, so The Poet X, right? She lives in the Bronx. She goes to school. She's like a normal teenager. She's got some Latina ascendancy. I love the Spanish phrases, especially the moms, because they were so well done. I am Mexican and I can tell you those phrases. Yes. Yeah. We're following her journey. She loves to write about everything that happened in her life, and what we are reading is actually a journal. So it is nice, it is super intimate kind of to read that and to realize all of the stuff that she is thinking about. Her mom is crazy religious. Yes, I also come from a religious family. I don't think my family is as religious as hers, but I can't understand that. Like, if I would come home and say I don't believe in God, oh my god, you have no idea the drama that would be in the house. And she obviously has a lot of questions about religion, you know, things that don't add up. And obviously the writing in this is really beautiful, and so when you're reading all of these, I kind of wanted to cry in some of the parts because I just got it, you know. Xiomara is really feisty, really fierce. She wants to eat the whole world. She wants to go out there and be loud and take space, and obviously she's a woman, so a lot of feminism in there. I love to see such a big, strong Latino representation. I don't know, I love to see actual representation. That was really nice for me to see. The poems are just beautiful. Elizabeth Acevedo's writing is just... Seriously, I was listening to the audiobook, which I totally recommend, because it is actually narrated by the author, and I love that because you actually hear the way that the author is listening to it in her mind, and I just love that. Xiomara has a twin, so there's a lot of talk about that kind of connection. We find out about that the sexuality of the twin is not going again into the mother's plans, into the religious, so we also have a bit of that problem there. We have her not being able to date. There's no dating, no boys, because of the religious aspect. She has a best friend called Caridad, and the best friend is like perfect. She goes to church and she is quiet and she's everything that the moms want the girls to be, right? So they kind of, I mean, like, they're best friends, but they kind of have this fight, and you see that between wanting actually the religious and wanting to be quiet and wanting to just study and wanting to just worry about herself, and then Xiomara that wants to go all out and fierce and has all of these doubts and want to express herself. And the way that she decides to do it is through poetry. So she starts skipping going to church to going to poetry and hiding that from her mom. Things escalate so bigly that obviously everything explodes for the character in a really sad way, I think. And it's nice that we see them trying to work through this. And obviously I think it goes both ways, and I think that's something that the author did really great. Normally when you are reading YA, you see that the teenager is like, oh no, I want these, and so the mom is the one that has to shut up, sit down and listen. And I like that in this case it was both ways, you know. They both needed to sit down, they both needed to see the other's perspective and listen to each other, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the book. This no boys thing totally reminded me of when I was in high school. Middle school and high school, I was not allowed to date. I don't think it was my mom's, I think it was more my dad. He's got a lot of issues. And here in Mexico, if you date when you're young, you're a slut. I actually, back then, I have really big boobs. I mean, I'm Mexican, I have curves. That was also something that the book mentioned. She is always being molested by boys, and if her mom finds out, she will be the one punished. Like, she will be walking down the street and someone will call out to her and she would be defending herself and, uh, being witty about it and tell him stuff. And then her mom was like, they saw you speaking in the streets to a boy. Oh! Yeah, I know the struggle, and it's like, I'm so fucking sorry. Because I was born a girl. Yes, so it touched so much on that, super related to that, at least for me. Totally recommend you to read these. Were you allowed to date when you were in high school and middle school? Because I was not. I would be like, oh no, you don't want to give that kind of impression, especially right now that you are young. That's gonna follow you through the rest of your life. Definitely. I was born into that generation of girls that were told no, no, and no, and cover yourself, use your sweater. I don't care if it's super hot outside. In Mexico, it gets really hot. You have to cover yourself with a sweater if you have big boobs, because obviously you don't want to disrupt any of the boys in the class, right? Yeah, it talks about that in such an amazing way that it really makes you understand what this girl is going through. And I think in the middle of the book you get a little bit of future thing, like what happened to Elizabeth afterwards. I think she never marries. I don't want to get married, And I do think that it is because back then you were told all of these awful things. And also, when you are not given the opportunity to date when you are young, when you are a grown-up woman, you still kind of feel that guilt. It's kind of screwed into your brain, all of these things. So I enjoyed reading these and seeing this being broken and seeing this freaking awesome, fierce, young teenage girl. That's what I want teenage girls nowadays to be. Don't take no for an answer. Take space. Be loud. Like, question everything, So, beautiful book that I would totally recommend for anyone to read. I'm kind of getting my curls back because of that. I just feel like, yeah, you know what? Why can't I go out with my curls? Like, I don't look put together. People think that I am kind of a rebel and not going to be like polite or whatever because I have curls. Like, come on. So yes, I love this book and it was such a big read for me throughout this month. Totally recommend. I do want to know your thoughts about it. So if you have read it, leave me down below what you think about the book. If you have not read it, would you be reading it? Would you not be reading it? And why would you not want to read this book? And yes, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. And if you want more bookish content and book reviews, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel for that. And I will see you readers on my next video. Bye!